Okay, good evening, everyone. We'll start the revision session for Managerial Economics for Quiz 1. So I will share my screen and quickly we'll cover the concepts from week 1 to week 4, and thereafter we will solve the quiz questions. Okay, is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
okay.
sir.
Okay, very nice. So come here later on and some questions. Okay, so in the week one basic definition of economics and two important which stand out is one is the science of decision making, and second is the study of allocating scarce resources to fulfill unlimited demands. Then there is a buyer demand curve. Buyer demand curve means that as the price decreases, the quantity increases. So it is a downward curve. And here, if you can see on my screen, at a price will above which a buyer is not ready to purchase, this is known as a reservation price. Okay, like when we go to market, so mentally we make up our mind that I will not purchase this mobile model, more than 50,000. Now, if I get that mobile model, for example, on sale, for example, 40,000, then I get a buyer surplus of 10,000. So buyer surplus is the reservation price minus price on which I have purchased that item. Mentally, I was ready to purchase that item for some price. Actual price is this, and that is my surplus. So this is the buyer surplus. So buyer's intent is always to have the buyer surplus. Let's have an example. From the seller's perspective, is what profit is equal to revenue minus cost. Revenue is
Sorry, but your voice is
Sorry.
having lot of background noise. I think,
yeah,
are
yeah.
you on roof?
No, I'm having an earphone, but a lot of flying is taking place here.
Okay, okay, yeah, because yeah,
Yeah. So from the seller point of view, he wants to maximize his profit. So profit is nothing but revenue minus cost. Revenue is price into quantity, and cost is whatever the cost he incurs while manufacturing that item. We'll see later on. So uh, as the quantity increases, the cost of manufacturing that item might increase or it might decrease. For example, if he's taking his raw material from some source and he takes more raw material, he gets discount. So in that case, cost will come down. However, if the number increases too much and he's not able to take that raw material from the same city, he has to take from some other city, then the cost of procuring that raw material goes high and that the cost might go high. So both cases are possible. Now we saw the types of markets: monopoly, where there is only one, one seller. So that is monopoly. Oligopoly, there are few sellers. For example, Coca-Cola and Pepsi. It is a oligopoly. Monopoly is opposite of that, when there are various sellers, but there is only one buyer. For example, the defense products, the government is the only buyer, and there are a lot of sellers. So for that is a monopoly. Then we came to week two. So first term we learned was the opportunity cost. So opportunity cost is the cost at which a seller, it is a seller pays to acquire a resource. Second, okay, we have to remember another one, that it is the cost of the next alternate. So when we'll cover, okay, one of the question of the quiz, then we'll understand that the second part is also relevant. Then there are various types of cost: implicit cost, explicit cost. Explicit cost means that the cost which is directly I'm incurring on procuring something. For example, I am running a shop and I take the items, so that is the explicit cost. Whereas my own, for example, if I would have worked okay, with my qualifications in some office, I would have been implicit cost. Similarly, if I'm running a shop on my own building, for which I would have got rent of some 20,000, so that is also implicit cost. So total cost is always implicit cost plus explicit cost. That we have to remember. Third concept was sunk cost. Sunk cost means that for something for which already I have paid. For example, during the lecture, the example was giving the insurance of a car. So that already I have paid. Whether I use that car or not, it does not matter. So that is a sunk cost. And 2 points are always important, that always consider the implicit cost when you are doing the financial calculations, and never consider the sunk cost while making an economic decision. And that is a basic difference between accounting profit and economic profit. In accounting profit, the implicit cost is not considered, whereas in economic profit, it takes both types of costs into account, both implicit
Sir,
and
lots
explicit.
of noises coming from your background.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I like I said, the fighters are flying.
uh,
So give me discount for that. I've got a noise cancelled earphone, but it is also not working. It will go away. They are just taking
okay, okay,
over. Okay.
okay.
Now we came down to total cost. Yeah, total cost is equal to fixed cost plus variable cost. The example is like we are running a factory. I have put around 50 lakhs of rupees in capital for putting up that factory. So that is a fixed cost. Variable cost is, for example, I employ some 50 laborers, I employ some 100 laborers, I employ 200 laborers. So these are the variable costs. So fixed cost will remain the same whether I manufacture one item or I manufacture 1,000 items. So important point here was, which was covered during the lecture, that when we take the average, so average total cost will become total cost divided by the amount which I have manufactured, which will become equal to FC by Q plus variable cost of Q by divided by Q. So if my screen is visible, you can see FC by Q. As Q increases, the FC decreases. Am I audible now?
Yes, yes, yes. Now it's perfect.
Okay, okay. So FC by Q will always decrease. So this is the graph for FC by Q. It will always decrease. Whereas the variable cost, average variable cost, it might increase. Like I said, okay, when the cost, okay, increases, it might decrease when I get the same raw material for the lesser price when I increase the quantity, or it might remain constant also. That supplier gives me 500 items for same rate, 50,000 also in the same rate. So three graphs are possible for average variable cost, that it remains constant, it decreases, or it increases. So when I
Mhm.
combine these graphs with the total average cost, so average total cost might look like this one, that first it is decreasing, and as the variable cost increases, it is start increasing. The second is when the average variable cost decreases, then it will decrease abruptly. In the third, it will decrease, and after that, it will remain constant.
Hmm.
So these are the three scenarios. Then the another important concept is marginal cost. So marginal cost is the cost of producing one more item. Okay,
Hmm.
so cost is fixed cost plus VC of Q. So the cost, if we take the derivative of that, that is the basic meaning of marginal cost. I'll explain that again with one real example.
Okay.
Now, when we come to marginal cost is below, so I will cover that again because otherwise it will become confusing. To cover that here, I will open the Jamboard and I will cover here whiteboard. Okay, so what we have learned till now, cost is equal to fixed cost plus variable cost of Q. We can say this is total cost. Okay, average total cost is equal to TC by Q is equal to FC by Q plus VC Q by Q. And marginal cost is equal to dou by dou Q of total cost. So basically it will become dou by dou Q of FC plus dou by dou Q of variable cost. So this becomes zero because this is a constant. So it is essentially dou of variable cost by dou Q. Means if I am making one more item, so cost of Q plus 1 minus cost of Q divided by 1. So this is basically the marginal cost. Now, how we say that marginal cost decreases or increases? So there is a law of diminishing returns. So this has been covered in the lecture also. For example, you have got capital K, we have got labor, and for example, we have employed capital of 5,000, and this is P. So this will remain same for all 5,000, 5,000, 5,000, 5,000. Okay. When I deployed labor of 10, so for example, I was manufacturing 10 items. Then I increase labor by 1. So my productivity increase, maybe that labor was required in some critical department. So now I am manufacturing, for example, 25 items. I increase to 12, and this is the marginal product here. This will become 50. For example, here become 20 plus. But at some point of time, what happens? It stagnates and the productivity starts again decreasing. So this marginal product first it increases, for example, after that it starts decreasing. So this is known as like a law of diminishing products. Now, when you combine this here, for example, labor rate, for example, is I take an example, 100 rupees. Okay, so here I will get total cost, I will get average total cost, I'll get marginal cost. So total cost here it becomes 6,000. Here it becomes 6,100, 6,200, 6,300, 6,400, 6,500. And average total cost will be this cost divided by the product. So here it will I will get 600. Here it will decrease 25 by 600. You can calculate 25 into 250. And so here I will get these numbers, average total cost. Now, as the variable cost here, fixed cost plays an important role. So average total cost curve looks like this. It comes, comes, and now it starts increasing. And we can calculate the marginal cost also. Marginal cost is equal to how much cost I have incurred marginally. So here this fixed cost remains 0. So here I have increased 100 rupees of one labor, and how much I have achieved, how marginal product it has increased. So initially your marginal cost it decreases, and when it stagnates due to the law of this diminishing returns, it starts going high. So this is the price at which I get the best. Okay, this is the quantity, this is the average total cost, this is the marginal cost. So this is the one where I get the best this. So from here only this statement comes true that when marginal cost is decreasing, your average cost is also decreasing, or marginal cost is below average this, and when marginal cost is above average cost, then average cost is increasing. So our ideal is here, that here is the point, this is the queue which is the ideal queue for me. I should produce only these many items with the resources which I have got, otherwise I am incurring loss. Is this concept clear?
Yes, yes, yes,
Okay,
clear.
so these are the two statements which I wanted to make, and this will become very handy because this is one place where we are combining the concepts of both product and cost.
Mhm, mhm.
So if this is, and this happens when it happens only in short run, because in short run only what we do, we don't change the capital. Whereas in long run we can change the capital also. Okay. So this is a concept for the short run. Okay.
Okay.
Now we come to three production functions. So one is the fixed proportion production function Leontief. Second is variable proportions. In that we have got two, Cobb-Douglas and production curve, linear function. So this also I will cover here, Leontief one, because on the Leontief one question can come.
Okay.
So there is an example. For example, they say, and I'm taking from the lecture only, that to prepare one sandwich, I need two breads and one butter. Okay. So what will become the function? For example, I say this is x1, this is x2. So this you can learn straight away, that wherever this multiple is there, put it down x1 by 2, and this will become x2. Okay. Important to remember. And how you can prove this? You take x1, you take x2, you take y. For example, I have got two breads, zero butter, y is 0. This is 2, this is 1, I get 1. I increase by 3, I keep it 2, then also it remains 1. I increase by 4, it remains 1, it remains 1. Now I keep 3, for example 4, I increase to 2, I get 2, I get 5, 2, I get again 2, I get 5, 1, I get 5, 1. So here you can see it is getting decided by minimum of this x1 by 2. X1 by 2 in this case is 1, 1, 1.5, 2, 2, 2.5 and 2.5. So this is getting decided by x1 by 2 and minimum of x2. Okay. So on this again one question can come. So this I will
Actually,
advise
why we are taking x1 by 2 comma x2?
from, okay, this is coming from here again. That this
Okay.
production which is there, it is getting affected by this. Okay, when we take the example, from there okay, we understand that it is depending on not on x1 and x2 by 2.
Hmm.
Okay, otherwise what we'll feel? Ki 2x1 and x2 straight away it comes to the logical mind.
Hmm. 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 Hmm.
Okay,
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
when we make this table, then we realize it is not on 2x1, because 2x1 means, for example, if Brad, for example, is 2, 2 and 2, I take example. Okay, so
Hmm.
then it will become minimum of 4 and 2, and answer will become 2. Whereas actually with 2 and 2, I can make only 1.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Hmm. We can say like x1 is equal to like 2 times of x2.
Yes.
Uh, so can we write it other way around? Like, uh,
Like what the main thing, what I can say is, ये x1 वाला thing, it's like how many things you need minimum. So when you do x1 by 2, it's like number of breads you have divided by 2. So you want to take proportion because sandwich का proportion fix है ना, 2 breads and
hmm.
one piece of butter या jam whatever. So let's say you have 3 breads and one piece of butter. So उसमें भी
Okay.
then you need जो minimum होएगा वही होएगा ना, तो 3 by 2 करोगे you will get 1.5. comma 1. So वहां से 1 will come. So that's why we do that by 2 3, not 2x 3. Because in that हमारा we have that some set proportion. We want that to satisfy. So for that
Hmm.
thing we are dividing by 2 because we are not putting up here the number of bread. We are putting up number of units actually
Which you,
proportion needed. So it's like
yes.
uh, one like if you have 3 breads, then 3 by
Hmm.
2 would be 1.5. So that's like totally require things you have to make a sandwich. So 3 breads say you can make 1.5 sandwich, and 1 butter say you can make one sandwich. But since you have to do it together, तो दोनों में से जो कम होएगा, we will take that thing.
Okay. 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 Okay.
Okay, so from the quiz point of view, remember this only, that if something is given here 2,
Hmm.
okay, and here this is given 1, so this becomes x1 by 2. Okay, this remember.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
We have one question in that na, light and water.
Oh, what is the question?
Uh,
Yes,
it's
in
of
it
equal.
was in
Yeah, it's
GA.
in GA.
Yes.
Since okay, the questions we'll see later on. We
Okay.
cover the concept first. Okay, so this
Okay.
is Leontief. Okay, now Leontief, okay, please try to understand Leontief, how the graph looks like. The graph will
Hmm.
look like this. This is x1, this is x2, and for example, I take this example only, that this is bread
Hmm.
and this is butter. So when you got two breads,
Hmm.
you can make one. Okay. Now when you
Hmm.
got two breads, any number of butter you can have, but still you can make only two.
Hmm. Yeah.
Similarly, if you got only one butter, any number of bread you can have, but you can still make only one.
Hmm.
Okay, so this graph, okay,
Okay.
the production graph, okay, looks like this, and this is your optimum, okay, x1 and x2, optimum, which will give you
Okay.
the least cost. So this becomes, now you come to 3 and 4. This will be 2. So here it will come here. So its production graph looks like this. It is going like this. Okay,
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
and the cost will remain same, ax1 plus bx2. What is the cost of
Okay.
x1? What is the cost of x2? And optimum cost will always be optimum amount of x1 and optimum amount of x2. Like to make one sandwich, or I will use only two bread and one butter.
Hmm.
So if bread is coming for 10 rupees, butter is coming 2 rupees, then optimum cost will be 10 into 2 plus 20 is equal to 40. This understood? Hello, anybody? Any addition in this?
What we have as a value 10 here.
10
We
is
want
the
to.
10 is this A, the
Okay.
price
Hmm.
cost of this X1. So from
Okay.
here you can see the cost function of Leontief is a linear function, AX1 plus BX2.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
And linear
Hmm.
function will always is like this.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
This is
Okay.
this is the production function, and this is the cost function.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay. Okay. Hmm.
Okay. Now second, now we go to uh, fixed proportion. In fixed proportion, what do we have? We have Cobb Douglas,
Hmm.
and second is linear.
Okay. Hmm.
So Cobb Douglas says y is equal to a into x1p and x2q. This is the production function for Cobb Douglas.
Hmm. Okay.
Okay, just give me 2 minutes, huh? I'll
Hmm.
just
Hmm.
yeah.
यार किसी के पास पास्ट में पेपर है
I have, but it's in my laptop.
तो ग्रुप पे आप डाल सकते हो
Okay, I'll share it. Okay.
थैंक यू
Okay. It's the latest one only, like Jan term.
हाँ एक ही टर्म तो
Ah.
हुआ है अभी जनवरी से ही
Hmm.
तो स्टार्ट
Hmm.
हुआ है
Okay, okay, I'm back. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So Cobb Douglas functions looks like y is equal to a. A is a constant here.
Hmm.
X1 to power P, x2 to power Q. Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
So here we take a simple example. For example, we take an example of capital and labor,
Hmm.
and this is P and Q. So in one of the quiz question is that how the production function. So production function here it looks like this. If you make the graph of this looks like this. For example, if I want to make, for example, a particular y, so this is a Q1, for example. This will be
Hmm.
for Q2. This will be for Q3. This is X1 and this is X2. Okay.
Hmm.
So here, as K decreases, L has to increase
Hmm. Hmm.
to maintain the same. This
Ah.
okay, for example, I just give an example. Y is equal to, for example, I am making some. Okay, I will take some example, bread and butter. But here I say that a bread and butter makes 10. Okay,
Hmm.
so
Hmm.
I can have 10 bread, 1 butter. I can have 2 breads, 5 butter. I can have 5 bread, 2 butter. I can have 1 bread, 10 butter, and still I'll have a 10. So here what we can see
Hmm.
that as one x1 decreases,
Hmm.
another
Hmm.
x2 increases to have the constant productivity.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Okay. So this is also increasing here. Okay. Now here in this, in the quiz, okay, they have asked that what happens if P plus Q, for example, is less
Hmm.
than 1. If it
Okay.
is less than 1, then your production will decrease.
Hmm. 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 Hmm.
As
Yes.
x1 and x2, you can take one example okay, that here I did for my sake in the quiz function, but you can check it here.
Huh.
Okay. To increase, the P by Q has to be more than 1. Then only the Q
Huh.
will increase okay, with x1 and x2.
Yes.
So here is one down.
Yeah.
It curved Douglas and linear function is the variable proportion production now
Yeah, very
a
good.
fixed product.
Yeah, sorry, my mistake. I had to tell. The
Okay,
first one,
and it's okay. And Leontief is the fixed one, no?
Leontev, okay, so I can straight away check.
Is fixed proportion
Yes,
production.
yes. Leontev is fixed here because it is a minimum.
Yeah, minimum of x1 divided by a and x2
Yes,
divided by b. Okay.
yes, yes, yes. Now in the linear, y is equal to ax1 plus bx2, and here this is not the cost function. This is a function of production function. When we say the production function for this, it will look like this. So here also to have the same production, if I'm reducing this x1 when it increases, the x2 decreases. We can see from this graph. Okay.
Hmm. Okay.
And here just for this, I will not cover the mathematics because here for cost function for linear becomes like a Leontief production function.
Okay. 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 Okay.
Okay. So for the Leontief, so it is minimum of some like x1 by w1, where is the rate, and x2 by
Next
w2.
to divided by b. Yeah.
This is the one. So for the Leontief, it becomes opposite. For linear, it becomes opposite. Okay. So these are the three our functions.
Okay. Okay.
And now
Hmm.
we go to other concepts. So variable proportion is the Cobb-Douglas and linear that we have covered. So production curve is like this: P plus Q less than one, greater than one. You can take one example. Okay, isoquants are the ones okay, where the quantity remains same. This we have covered. Okay, so these are nothing but isoquants which we have made. Now we come to total marginal and average product. It is a very important concept from the quiz point of view. So
Okay.
straight away, this has come like an example. They have asked in the GAs also that there is a function for the capital and labor that
Hmm.
y is equal to 100 kl. Okay, and in this they have given rate of k is equal to, for example, 10. Rate of l is equal to, this also will take 10. So what is the output for best cost? Is this the question? It is like that. So remember here, there is something called marginal product. Marginal product means, for example, I take marginal product with in relation to labor. It means that if I increase labor by one, keeping everything constant, then what is the change in my product? So this is nothing but dou by dou I and of y, which will become 100k. Okay.
Hmm.
Similarly, MP of K, if I change only capital, keep labor constant, then that is a marginal product with relation to capital. This will become 100 L.
Hmm.
And now, for example, here rate has been given. So from here we can write cost is equal to 10 of capital K plus 10 of labor. Now here we find out the marginal cost. Marginal cost with respect to labor and marginal with respect to the cost. Here one
Hmm.
important formula you have to remember, that MPL by MPK is equal to minus W over R, where W is the wages of labor and R is the rate at which I take the capital. Okay, this is an important thing
Hmm.
from the quiz point of view. So from here, what we can make out, that 100k by 100l will become, this minus is a sign, it is increasing and decreasing. For calculation we will not take this minus, so this will become 10 by 10, because w is also 10 and r is also 10.
So basically, that's the capital, right? Capital of labor or capital of.
The rate is r is, oh sorry, yes, so this is the wages. Okay, we can write wages. Okay,
Hmm. Hmm.
wages of
Okay.
labor. Okay, so here in this case this becomes 1, therefore k becomes 1.
Hmm. Okay.
K ratio L. K is over L is equal to 1.
Hmm.
So now in this question they will ask क्या कि question I will just share it with you. Question is from the quiz only. What is the format of that question? Okay, this is the question. Question is, the production function for a product is given by, I will paste it here.
Okay. 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 Hmm.
That's the question. So here you can see this is the question. So we have already understood MPL. We calculate Q is equal to 100 KL.
Hmm. Hmm.
So MPL by MPK is equal to W by R, and this will become MPL become 100K over 100L. Price of capital is 1200 Labor is 300. Therefore, K by L is equal to 1 by 4. Or we can write L is equal to 4 of K. Now they are asking what is the optimal level of labor for producing 1000 units. So this we can put in. So this will become 10,000 is equal to 100 KL. This will become L co we will replace. So this will become 400 K square. Therefore K will become K here. Making any mistake?
K is 10.
K will become
Wait.
Add, okay, 10,000 and
K will
100K,
become 25 na?
L is
100
equal
will
to
become
Root
5.
of 25 है ना? And therefore L will become 20.
mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is how okay, we have to address okay, this question.
Now for the like cost, we have to put it in that.
And now if they have given the cost okay, so cost also now cost function they have given.
Mm,
So cost will become 1200
mm,
into K plus 300 into 20.
mm,
So this will come 6000 plus 6000 12,000.
mm.
Yeah.
Okay, so both okay, we
Okay,
can calculate.
Hmm.
okay.
So this is an important thing. Okay? This we have to remember
Mm,
okay, how to solve it. So we have to remember MPL by MPK is equal to W by R. Straight
mm,
away from there, okay, put it in the formula, and then we will get the answer of that. Now we come to production functions. We have covered marginal product. We have covered MPL and MPK. Law of diminishing marginal product. Okay, I had already covered in that example. Okay, as the labor
mm,
increases, first the productivity will increase and then the productivity will decrease. Okay, at optimal cost, okay, what will happen? We have seen in this example, we have solved
mm,
okay, the same thing. Now, the types of firms, okay, there might be some theoretical questions, so please okay, remember
mm,
that. Basically, one is the tax liability. So, in the sole
mm,
proprietorship and the partnership, okay, the liability is unlimited. In the
Hmm.
sole
mm,
proprietor
mm,
okay, liability, and then there is a limited liability company, and then corporations and double tax corporations. There is a disadvantage of double taxation, but the advantage is that okay, the liability is very minimum. Okay. Now we
mm,
week three they started with MRTS marginal rate of technical substitution. That if you
mhm,
change, for example, or the basic definition is amount by which one item is reduced if another item is increased by one. So MRTS is nothing but delta of x1 by delta of x2. Okay, like in this same example, I'll write here only. So MRTS is if I've got two resources X.
RT is like delta animal delta.
Huh. If I'm increasing one item by one, how much a second item is reducing?
We have to reduce. Okay.
So we
Because
saw,
income is fixed.
yeah, we saw in KL, na, that
Yeah.
for same product, if I reduce labor, I have to increase the capital. If I increase the
Hmm.
capital, like that. So then they have covered MRTS for the Cobb Douglas. So that we know Q is equal to KL. So MRTS is minus delta L by delta K. So this is the formula for that Cobb Douglas.
Yeah. Delta x1, delta x2 is for linear, no?
Yes. Okay. Then we came to cost minimization. This we have covered that in Leontief how the it comes to linear production is like this. For linear production is linear, but the cost becomes like a Leontief. Cobb Douglas
mm,
it remains like this. Now returns to scale is an important concept. Return to scale means that if I
mm,
double my inputs, then will my output will be doubled. It can remain constant also,
mm,
same rate. In many cases, I double my input like the labor example we saw, but my
mm,
output is decreasing. So they can be increasing returns to scale, constant returns to scale, decreasing returns to scale also they can happen. And then there is a short term and the long term. Short term means okay, when I cannot, when one of the resource cannot be changed, for example, capital in the short term. In long term, all the resources can be changed. This cost curves like I explained with an example. And remember what was covered during the lecture, basically what the instructor was trying to cover, that in the first week we saw that demand curve, this was Q, this was P, this is reservation price, and your demand curve is as the price decreases, your this quantity increases. So it is a
Hmm.
downward. Okay,
Hmm. Hmm.
demand. For the supply curve, as the price increases, your supply will increase. So in this entire lecture, okay, he was trying to make out that from where this thing had come. So this thing has come from here, this one. Okay. Week 4 budget set, okay, like I have got a fixed income, then I can purchase only this. If my income increases or decreases, so I will like for example, or my income they put some tax. So remember this formula: P1 x1 plus P2 x2 is equal to I. This is my demand set, budget set. So if I have some tax over my income, so this will become minus T, where this is tax. If I get some subsidy on some product, on some resource, then that will minus here S. I'll get a subsidy of B take care, for example. So this will be able to do it here. There should not be any problem. Then
Can you repeat this point और थोड़ा सा पीछे जो हाँ
okay,
सब्सिडी वाला
okay, I'll do that here. Okay. So your budget line or the budget set is like that. My income is, for example, 10,000. Okay. And I'm taking two, just a second. Taking dal and I'm taking milk. Okay. There is some rate, okay, dal, some price, for example, is 500 rupees per kg. This I'm just taking hypothetical. This is 1,000 rupees per liter. So my budget line becomes like this. This is my X1, this is my X2, and this remains 10,000. So either I can take this much and this much, I can take this much, I can take this much, this much. Okay. So this is I is equal to P1X1 plus P2X2. Now, by any chance, if a income tax has been put and my income, effective income will reduce. Okay. So for example, if an income tax on my income, then it will become P1X1 plus P2X2 is equal to I minus tax. So this line which is there, it will come down. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now third, uh, now for example, if I get subsidy on dal, for example, instead of 500, now I get this dal for 400 rupees. So what will happen? This will become, now I'm writing with the text only. So this will become dal rate P1 minus subsidy which I'm getting X1 plus P2 X2 is equal to I minus T. Now the third, on milk, for example, they have put an additional tax, for example, Q, for example, additional tax. So then how it will become? This will become P1 minus S of X1. Effective rate has increased by Q, X2 is equal to I minus T.
Hmm.
Okay. And accordingly, your okay, these lines will change. Is this clear? And there is a fourth concept also that I have not taken care. That many times okay, government gives tokens which can be utilized only to purchase, for example, milk only. Okay.
particular
So, so
product.
there, yeah, so there are the free tokens, but you can utilize only for the milk. So I can, for example, this is milk here. So I can increase okay, the milk here, but for other thing I cannot utilize. So this part can be utilized only for the milk. Okay, that was covered. Now we come to theoretical preferences, completeness, and transitivity. Definitely, a question will be there. Completeness means when the customer he knows how to prefer some item. Right? If I know, if I go to the market, I know I prefer a iPhone over Samsung, Samsung over microphone. Then I'm able to put the things in like in some order. That means completeness. If I'm in a confused state of mind where I'm not able to make out, then it violates the principle of completeness. Okay, so this is completeness. Second is transitivity. Transitivity means that if A is preferred over B and B is preferred over C, then A will be preferred over C. This is transitivity. Okay, for example, mango is preferred over banana, banana is preferred over guava, then mango will be preferred over guava. If mango is not preferred, if this condition is not true, then there is a violation of transitivity. This. So this acquired and indifference curves which are there. Indifference curves basically an indifference curve represents all the combination of market baskets that provide a consumer with the same level of satisfaction. And an indifference curve looks like this. This is a market basket, and as his needs are more, so this is known as principle. I will just check whether I have written or not. There is something called monotonicity.
Yeah,
So
it's written in the caption.
yeah. So remember, so this is one market basket. Here it increases, this decreases, this increases, this decreases. If he gets more, then he will have like this market basket. Okay, he has got more money, he will have market basket like this. Never it will happen that this indifference curve becomes it. So they never intersect. Indifference curves never intersect. So this is the indifference curve for this, for 1, 2, and 3. These are the indifference curves. Marginal rate of substitution, basically the maximum amount of a good that a consumer is willing to give up. He can give up one good in order to obtain one additional unit of another good. Here they have, there is an example of Coke and pizza. So this curve also looks like this, that if I'll have more pizza, then I have to give up on Coke. If I have to have more Coke, then I have to give on pizza. Indifference curves here, and indifference curves substitution, that is same here. So with this, I think all the major concepts they have been changed. Indifference curves looks like this. As the income increases, your indifference curves move here. Till now, any doubt? Okay, anything we want to discuss, or we go to the quiz questions?
There's one question on convexity, like convexity and preference.
Yeah. So uh, convexity has come from here only. Indifference curve, which is there. So this is a convex curve. Okay. So generally, your preference curve, which is there, it is a convex curve. For example, this is x1. This is x2. So if I have to take more x1, then x2 decreases. If I have to take more x2, then x1 increases. So this is a convex curve. Okay. And there is a question in the quiz, okay, which I have got a doubt on that. I posted on the discourse also, but okay, I have not received any reply. So shall we go to these questions, okay? Quiz questions?
Yeah.
Yes,
Anyway, I
sir.
think we can post it on the group where such like we can tag him
Yes, yes, definitely. Yeah.
writing.
Hello.
Hello.
Am I audible now?
Yes, yes, you're audible.
Yeah, there's a a connectivity issue. Can you please once again repeat it?
Which one?
I guess that convexity preference.
Convex से क्या
Yeah.
basically these preferences which are there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll just draw it again here. So this is a x1 and x2.
Mm-hmm.
So this curve also looks like this. That okay, when if I'm taking more x1, then x2 decreases. If I'm having more x2, then x1 decreases. So this curve okay,
Okay.
is a convex curve.
Okay.
Okay, it is not like this.
Okay, so it means when we have two goods
Yeah.
and we are preferring like one over other with a
Okay.
huge amount.
Not with a small amount also. Like here
Okay.
also, you can have small amounts also.
Okay. Okay.
So this never happens. That x2 also increases and x1 also increases.
Hmm.
You see in this case. Okay.
Okay. Ah.
Okay. So,
Hmm.
okay. Now we go to quiz question. So,
Hmm.
so this we have discussed. Okay, the Cobb-Douglas production function FKL is equal to KPLQ. So here the production will depend on the values of P and Q. You can take some examples. Okay, and you will realize. Okay, for example, if P plus Q, uh, P is less than 1 and Q is less than 1, then the production will decrease. P more than 1, Q more than 1, the production will increase. Constant returns means when P is equal to 0 and Q is equal to 0, then by the same number you increase, it will keep on increasing by the constant returns. So this second option is correct. Now this I have covered. Okay, when one is not able to compare two goods and is confused about which one to choose, his preference violates completeness. Completeness means when the customer he knows that what he prefers, okay, or something. Transitivity, mango to apple, apple to guava, guava to mango. This I covered. Okay, so this is a violation. What is a marginal?
Am I
Hello?
audible?
Yes, yes, you're audible.
Sir, can you tell about reflexivity in a brief?
Reflexivity. Sorry, Mali, really, I'm not clear.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
we
these
can.
are like in maths we have set functions
Hello, hello.
like we have this thing right in maths functions are transitive, reflexive, and all. So reflexive, I think it's like if you give f of a, then you get some output b. Then it's like opposite. F of b is also giving a, so something like that. Like transitivity is something from A to you go to B, then B to C. So similarly, reflexivity is like opposite. So f of A is f of B, then f of B should be f of A, something like that.
Okay. 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 A marginal product of labor, that basically the increase in the product, what is the change if we change the labor by 1? That okay, we have seen MPL and MPK. And important thing we have to remember that MPL by MPK is equal to W by R. Now, if marginal cost equal average total costs, so this we have seen in this curve that this is the average total curve and this is the marginal cost. At this place where equals, here the average total cost is minimized. This place here, which is there. This we can solve. Like I will give to all of you. If all of us we can try. A chair manufacturer hires its assembly line labor for rupees 30 an hour and calculates that the rental cost of its machinery is $15 per hour. Suppose that a chair can be produced using 4 hours of labor or machinery in any combination. if the firm is currently using 3 hours of labor for each hour of machine time, is it minimizing its cost of production? So first of all, we have to understand what is this, okay, which is the production function which is being used here.
Oh, is it a linear function?
Uh,
Is it a like all possible combination we have to make?
yeah, just hold on. Yes, he is saying a chair can be produced using 4 hours of labor
Yeah. Or machinery.
or
Yes.
machinery,
Yes.
any combination. So labor cost, this has to be total
Machine.
4, any combination, 1 0 4 1 3 3 1 4 0 2 and 2. It remains 4. So the production function is A of x1 plus B of x2, and this is 4. Is it right again? My understanding?
Yes, I guess, yeah. Hmm.
So this we can do
Huh.
manually, and the cost will also remain the same. Okay, cost is equal to, or
Hmm.
so
Hmm.
we
Hmm.
can see
Hmm.
for all the combinations we can find the cost, and
Yeah, same. Labor like is 0, like, and machine it's coming 4.
yeah. So here it is coming 60. So what is the
Hmm.
optimal combination of labor we have got? Optimal combination of capital we have got. Now this question we have solved. The production function for product is given by Q is equal to 100 QL. This is an important here, so please practice these kind of questions. These are definitely this kind of questions. Okay. Now this is also an easy question. Elmo finds himself at a cook machine on a hot and dusty Sunday. The cook machine requires exact change 2 quarters at a time. So this is a Leontief here. Remember this. Exact when they say na 2 quarters at a time. No other combination.
Leontief is a like 2-1 combination.
Leontief is basically y is equal to minimum of x1 and x2.
Uh, uh,
Okay.
hmm.
So this is a easy. So they have said. So what they have said, 2 quarters. This is a quarter and dime. So if he has got 2 quarters and one dime, then he can get one product. Okay. Now, for example, if he has got 3 quarters and one, then also he can get only one. 4 1, he can get only one. He gets 2 and 2, then also he will get one. So this becomes minimum of q by 2 and dime. Okay. So the question is 4 quarters and two dimes. So here is 4 and here is 2. So we put 4 by 2 and 2. So this becomes 2. Okay. Now the question was this only. In this, okay, they have written that does Elmo have convex preference between dimes and quarters? So when we make the Leontief, the graph will look like this. So if you take the convex, okay, it looks like this. This also looks like this. So somewhere maybe convex because it is not like this, or it is not like this. But I had a doubt in this question. That's why I have asked on the discourse. I can check. So these questions I will leave up to you, and I will share okay, this worksheet and this PDF with all of you in the group.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Anything else? Anyone? Anything? Anybody wants to add on? If somebody has something has been missed out.
Sir, can you precisely tell that how we can get to know that whether
Okay.
the question is
Okay.
based on
So
Leontief or
so wherever they
yes
say, for
to
example,
like
that you
understand.
can get one Coke for exactly 2 quarters and one dime. So this is straight away is a leontief, means that if I got quarter and this is dime, I have got, for example, 1 1 2 1 2 2 3 1 3 2 4 2. So here find out what is the y. Here it is 0, here it is 1, here it is 1, here it is 1, here it is 1, here only it becomes 2. So it is not increasing in any linear combination that 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. So wherever they say that exactly 2 quarters and a dime or something like that, then it will become the octave. Okay. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Chalo, then shall we call it off again? I will share this PDF okay, which I was having here.
Can